Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for this video because this is the first episode of a series that I'm starting. Guys, I'm going back to uni, which is insane. So to kind of like make a milestone of this occasion that's coming up, I thought I'd put together a little series of all of my kind of tips and tricks for starting uni, going back to uni, as well as just some kind of fun videos that we can do together in preparation for me going back to uni, if you are as well, or if you're just interested in it. I thought it'd be really fun, and I thought to kick it off, the best way to do this would be to start with kind of the university expectations versus the realities of it. I know personally when I started university I had a hell of a lot of expectations. You see college and university stuff everywhere, TV, books, films, all of the like American sitcoms, all those college films. I had watched a lot of those, safe to say. So I had like a lot of things in my head about how I thought university was going to go and what I thought it would be like. Turns out some of them are true, but the majority aren't, like, in the slightest. So I thought I'd just come on here, expose them to you guys, let you know what to prepare for, what to kind of expect when you get there, and just kind of like reveal the truth on some of these expectations that are whirring around, which I thought would be interesting if you're in university or not. So yeah, I'm just going to get started. Also, can I just put a disclaimer? Today's 32 degrees. I've powdered myself to the max, but I can already feel like my lip is slowly melting down the rest of my face. So my battery died, so sorry if it looks a little different. I'm hoping it's straight. I can never really tell. I've got a bit of a dodgy tripod. But I was saying, we're about to get into this video, I've got 8 to 10. Let me just check how many I've got 8 expectations to run through with you, and hopefully you can relate to some of them and kind of leave your comments down below of how you found it and what you experienced as well, because that would be really cool. So my first one, I mean, I think everyone has this assumption or expectation whether you're in uni or not, but my first expectation was just that Freshers Week was going to be insane, like absolutely crazy. And I guess it really depends on like the person you are and like the university you go to. If you go to like a really like party heavy university, it probably will be kind of more intense than mine was. But I'm not particularly like a party goer or anything like that. I love a good party, but like I don't pride myself on being like a raver. Or see, no one says raver. That's the grandma coming out in me. So my Freshers Week was actually pretty chill. Like we went to a few clubs, went to a few bars, had a few drinks, met loads of cool people, because that's all like Freshers is. You just meet people like randomly, start having a conversation and end up friends for the night, which is always fun. But yeah, nothing crazy, nothing too hardcore, no like crazy stories or anything like that. I was literally imagining like Project X, like just insane, huge fireworks, whatever, massive, messy, insane, but it really wasn't like that. It was kind of more chill. I think just everyone was trying to find their feet. People were a bit nervous about where to go or who to hang out with and things like that, so everyone was just kind of like figuring it out as they went. So nothing too mental happened. Again, I guess if I was looking for a crazy night out, I could definitely have found one, but yeah, it was pretty chill. So if you're kind of going into Freshers thinking, oh my god, I'm really not a party animal, like I don't know how I'm going to survive, don't worry, because there'll be plenty of people like you, aka me, who will be in exactly the same boat, so you really don't have to put too much pressure on it to have like this big huge wild night out for, or a week out in some people's cases. So my next expectation was that the halls were gonna be gross, and I'm sorry to say, ladies and gents, this was true. My halls were disgusting. Just imagine 6 people who haven't lived by themselves, who have bought all of their own stuff, are expected to clean their own stuff and put it away and be respectful of everyone else's space, but they've never done it for themselves before. They've always had someone else to do it, or like just their own space. It's not going to end well. Like 6 students using everyone's different pots and pans, remembering to clean them up, put them away because so and so might need it. Nah, that doesn't happen. Things get nasty really quick. I remember I had come home like from a lecture or something, and there were pieces of bread literally scattered around the kitchen, and someone had pulled out like smiley faces in the like actual bread out of the loaf, and they were just everywhere, and they were there for like a week. Not gonna lie, whoever did it, still don't know to this day, whoever did it did not put them away, and it ended up being me chucking them out. I left it there for a week just to like make a statement, you know, like I'm not clearing up your shit, do it yourself. But nah, I ended up doing it. And it was also the same story for, I think there was a bag of chicken, like frozen chicken, that got left on the side, and then it defrosted, and then the juices decided to seep out the bag. Now maybe I was just unlucky with the people I lived with, and I just liked to be clean. I don't really know. I really don't think I'm that clean though, so I was probably one of the people that people had aggravations about. Mine was a bit far gone in that case, but just the halls in general, like the carpets were a bit nasty, and there were like bugs in the lights. Like, I guess obviously I was going to university in London, so I didn't want to pay too much, so I did pay for the cheaper accommodation, so I guess maybe you get what you pay for. But yeah, they weren't the best. I definitely made my room feel like a home. Like, I made it really clean. I had loads of like cute pictures and like bunting and really nice stuff, and loads of cushions and pillows and things, so it felt really homely, which was so nice because it was like my little sanctuary. But in terms of like the common areas, that was a bit gross. Although I think some halls have a cleaner, so if you're one of those lucky people, you're winning. My next assumption was so wrong. I expected it to be really hard to make new friends. I just thought there's going to be so many people. I'm not the most confident of people, like going up to people being like, hi. That takes a lot. So I just thought it would be really hard to make new friends, and that I'd feel quite lonely for quite a while. But I could not be more wrong. Like, everyone goes to uni and kind of feels very lonely, I guess, in the sense like, oh my gosh, I need to make new friends, like I don't know anyone here. So literally people make friends so fast. Like, so you could say one thing to someone, like literally happened to me first day. Someone complimented like my shoes or something, and then before I knew it we were sat together in lecture and we were pairing up in lectures and all of this stuff, just because you find someone that you have something in common with, or you can chat to, or your personalities are kind of similar or something, and you cling to that person for dear life, because you just need someone to make you feel like you belong, and like to start your kind of network of friends and stuff to hang out with, because everyone's in the same boat in the sense like you just don't know anyone, and that's a weird thing to have, especially when you've come from a place like your college or your sixth form where you know like everyone pretty much. It's a big difference. So yeah, super easy to make friends, whether it's just a small comment or you just ask someone to sit next to them, or like literally anything. If you had the same lunch as someone or something, that is instant friendship right there. I will say it's not a long-lasting friendship, in the sense like the majority of people I hung out with for the first 2 weeks I wasn't speaking to by 5 months in, because you quickly realise like some of your opinions are very different, or your values are different, or your personality just clashes or something like that, and you just start making new friends, like different friends from other parts of the university rather than just your halls or just your subject or whatever, that are a bit more, what's the word, like a bit like more right for you, like feel more like a, like, very hard to put into words. You just start making newer friends that you feel closer with, that you just have more in common with, so you slowly start to drift away from those other friends. It's not like you have some big argument or anything, you just kind of like, you're finding your feet, you're just settling into a friendship group that feels right for you. So yeah, it's definitely not a long-lasting friendship, but you'll find, but like by the end of the year you've probably got like 3 or 4 like solid friends, but in the first few months you'll have like a group of like 12 of you that hang out, and then slowly that will like simmer down. My next expectation was that it was going to be a lot of work, and I mean, I think that's a fair enough expectation. Everyone tells you that it's going to be hard, university is not supposed to be easy, and I think it was true. I don't think I had as much work as I thought I was going to have, but nonetheless it was a lot of work, like definitely a step up from A level. You have a lot of assignments, a lot of coursework, some exams, and obviously lectures and tutorials, however your course kind of like pans out across the year. I definitely had a lot to do. Not nearly as much as I thought I was going to have to do. I thought I'd be like drowning in work. Nah, I still had time for like a social life, and I found like quite a good balance by like second term, I'd say, maybe third, maybe the last term. I kind of like figured it out from there, which meant second year was great, and hopefully going into third year I'll do the same, although I'm thinking there's going to be more work in third year than there was in first. But yeah, it definitely was a lot of work. I kind of wanted it to be though, like I didn't want to pay £9 and not have any work to do. So yeah, I've definitely got something to show for my money. But yeah, it definitely was a lot of work, but again, I expected it to be more, so win-win, maybe? Who knows? My next expectation was that I was going to eat really badly. Some people think the absolute opposite. They think like, oh, I'll live by myself and then I'll eat really clean, it's only because I live at home that I eat badly. No. My mum is such a good influence on me. She's like quite a clean, healthy eater, and we'd always do like detoxes together and things, and it was like always like good fun rather than something I was like making myself do. Safe to say, living on my own, I took full advantage of not having anyone like looking over my shoulder. I had loads of snacks, chocolate, ice cream, whatever I could buy, I was eating it. So yeah, I definitely didn't eat healthy, especially because I didn't have that many like recipes or like good healthy meals that I knew how to cook. Now that is a complete like rubbish excuse, because my mum made me a recipe book before I went, which was so sweet. And also, like, I have the internet, I'm just lazy. So I think I'd have porridge for breakfast, baked beans for lunch, and then I'd have a jacket potato with mayonnaise on it for dinner, and that was it. So yeah, oh, as well as all my snacks in between, obviously. So yeah, definitely didn't eat healthy. By my second year, or maybe like my last term, I'd kind of figured it out, like how to kind of balance my meals, what I should and shouldn't be eating, after seeing like some weight gain that I wasn't too keen on. So yeah, I definitely ate badly going into it, but I think it's just the freedom of being able to eat whatever you want. And especially if you're drinking a lot, I often find that I eat badly like the day after I've drunk a lot. So yeah, it's all about finding the balance, and I mean, having the freedom to eat what you want is great, and I think everyone kind of takes advantage of that to start with, especially like when you're buying stuff in your flat as a group or whatever, you kind of go a bit over the top. So yeah, you'll probably find that you're eating some stuff that you wouldn't usually, especially if you're like going to the kebab shop at like 3 a.m. around the corner or whatever. But I think you kind of settle into it again, you kind of realise what independence is, and the responsibility of like having to cook for yourself and being responsible for your own health rather than like your mum cooking your dinner. I'm sounding very privileged right now, I know. But yeah, that was kind of the way it panned out for me. I'm definitely eating better now, for sure. But yeah, first year was a big question mark. My next expectation I was actually quite worried about. Not sure if you know, but I am a goody two shoes, like as big as they come. I'm a teacher's pet. I bloody love putting my hands up in class. And I was really worried that the lecturers weren't going to care. I just thought they're like, they think we're adults, they think we know what we're doing, like they're not going to worry about my problems. I'm going to be one small fish in a big sea of people. There's going to be like 80 people in my course rather than a 20-person class. Like, I'm not going to get noticed, I'm not going to get any attention, and the lecturer's not going to give me anything more than they think I need. And that kind of not scared me, but did make me worry a little bit, I guess, because I have always relied on teachers to like help me out or like give me some advice or whatever. Mainly just for educational purposes, but also just like chat about life with, I guess. Am I a saddo? Who knows? But they care. And I was like, oh, okay, this is fine. Like, we're going to be good. You are given like a mentor or like a personal tutor or whatever in university. Well, I was at least. And that was really useful. You had like meetings with them just to kind of discuss how your like transition into uni was going, which was great because that meant you like it was completely personal. You could talk about whatever you wanted. Also, like in class as well, they do learn names, which I was like so shocked at because I just thought I'd be like one tiny little person in a big old crowd. But no, I was like an actual individual that people knew, which was great. So I felt comfortable enough to go up after lectures and like ask any questions if I didn't understand anything, or like answer questions throughout the lecture and things like that. So that was really, really nice. And I also felt like I could email my tutors or lecturers whenever I wanted. Like, they made it sound very approachable. They were very like, we want you to do well, we want the university to do well, so by you doing well, we do well. They probably get a bonus or something from us doing well, so they are there to help you, which I just never really considered. I don't know why, I just thought they'd be really standoffish, but they really weren't. So if you're worried about going to university and making friends or the transition or whatever, your lecturers are there for you. Have a good chat and they can figure it out with you. I know in October time, like when I first started, so I'd only been there for a month, I was like ready to go home. I was like, get me out of this hellhole. But literally my tutors helped me so much. And here I am, about to start third year. So it went very well, apparently. So yeah, I really enjoyed that, like the lecturers are there for you as much as like your teachers in like sixth form or school would be. And I just found that like really reassuring. My next expectation I kind of touched on in my last comment, but I expected, like I had a big expectation that I would be incredibly homesick. And this was true to some extent. Like I said, I wanted to quit, and part of that was just because I was so homesick. That whole thing happened straight after I'd been away for a week with my boyfriend's family in Cornwall. So it was like a lot of home time, being by the sea. I'm from Bournemouth, so like that was great for me. But then going back to uni, it was like, ugh. And especially when my mum dropped me off at uni and I was just on my own in London, like over 100 miles away from where I'm from, I was like, crap, like what do I do? And there were definitely points throughout the year where I did feel homesick. I was in a long distance relationship. I'm really close with my family, so it was a big deal for me to move away from home because I am such a homebody. Like, I'm sure if I had just gone to Bournemouth uni, it would have been a hell of a lot less stress. But I found some really great ways to kind of like battle that homesickness. I mean, I probably do a whole video on it, but just like getting cozy. Like I said, I made my halls really cozy. I made a good set of friends that I would ask to hang out. I also had 3 jobs to keep myself busy, so also helped that I made some money alongside it. But yeah, keeping yourself busy, keeping your mind off things, just so that you're not alone too often. Because I did find that when I was on my own, it was the hardest, especially because I only had 8 hours lecture a week. So I don't know how many hours that is of me by myself, but like a lot. So I did like to keep myself busy, whether it's in the gym or at a job or doing coursework in the library or whatever. But yeah, I was definitely homesick. I think that's something everyone like expects or goes through at some point, whether you're a homebody or not. It's just kind of learning the coping mechanisms to deal with it, I guess, because it is so easy to just like want to give up and throw in the towel. But like university is so great, so I just really wanted to push through, and I mean luckily I have so far. But yeah, I definitely expected to get homesick, and I definitely did. And I think you should probably expect to feel that at some point too, but just know like everyone's going through the same thing. Like, I've spoken to so many of my friends who have felt homesick, or like I've helped them through it, or we've gone out for coffee or something because they felt homesick. So just reach out, just make sure you like, if you are feeling that way, just make it known, tell your friends, and it'll be all good. I think we're on our last expectation. My last expectation was that it was going to be expensive, and my god was I right. University is very expensive, not just the like actual cost of it. I think it's like $9,250 a year now, but also just the living costs. My loan didn't cover my rent, which was shocking, so I had 3 jobs which helped. I also had some family help, which was really useful and like so nice of them, like hugely appreciated that. But I also had a grant from uni for being like a high achiever. Definitely look into what bursaries your school do, because I know Greenwich have loads. Like if you live in Greenwich, you could get a certain bursary. If you have to drive so many miles into university, you can get another kind of bursary. So definitely have a look at that. That's a really great way to kind of like up your income from a different stream. I don't really know what I'm saying. But yeah, it's very expensive. So I would definitely say make a budget early on. Again, could do a whole video about that. Bloody love me a budget. But I just had like this much on food, this much on like going out / clothes, because I love me some clothes. And then the rest on just like travel expenses. All of my bills and stuff were included in my rent, so that was kind of easy to handle. And then I had like an emergency fund, so if something broke, like if I smashed my phone or something, I could use that. And then obviously I had a little savings bit, just because I'm that kind of person. So yeah, it definitely was expensive, but I don't think it's anything to fret over. I feel like loads of people find it quite daunting that it's going to be so much money, but I mean, everyone finds a way. Like loads and loads of my friends we're all doing it together. We all come from like completely different backgrounds, and we're all coping, so I wouldn't stress about it too much. It is definitely expensive. Loads of people ask me that on Instagram all the time, like, is it really as expensive as people say? I think it is, but also it depends where you go. Like, I'm in London and I'm living pretty central, so I'm kind of making a knife from my own back, it's not a fork from my own back, whatever. I'm screwing myself over, basically. If I had gone to like a university up north or something, or in a town that's not very well known, it would definitely be cheaper. But yeah, it's just kind of finding little hacks around it. So like shopping in cheaper areas, or buying in bulk, or buying things together with your roommates, or shopping around for like internet and energy bills and all of that. Just any way to kind of like reduce that a little bit really helps. Cycling, walking, not getting an Uber, that helps. Limiting going out like once a week and things like that, that always helps too. So yeah, there's lots of different ways around it, so I wouldn't stress and like let it give you anxiety over like, oh my god, I'm so broke, because everyone's broke, but we all seem to be doing it somehow. There's thousands and thousands of people going to university, so I believe in you. You can do it too. The expectation is real, it's there, but we're dealing with it. So yeah, that is all the expectations I had going into uni. I have a lot of expectations going into third year as well. I think some of them have a big crossover, but I just think it's going to be like really difficult. That's my only concern, but I guess we'll check in at the end of the year and I'll let you know how it was. I've got a lot of university videos coming up. I think there's a total of like 8, so I'm going to be posting 2 a week, which is really exciting because I'm usually a once a week kind of gal, so I think I'm doing Thursdays and Sundays. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, that is the plan. I'm really excited for this kind of like series coming up. I used to do university videos all the time, and now that I'm heading back into university, I thought this would be a great way to kick it off, start the process. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a huge thumbs up and subscribe down below. Please also leave any expectations you have down below. Be happy to answer them or like reveal the truth on any of those, and hopefully I'll see you very soon.